Hey guys, this is Josh once again coming at you with another mock review. And today, like I said, we will be looking over Gali Gamma. But you might be wondering, why are we doing Gali instead of going to Anua? Well, I actually got or built Gali Gamma before Anua Epsilon. So we will be going with her because I figured I had her technically longer, if not just for about 30 minutes longer, but had her longer, so let's go with the one I had first. But first off, as usual, we'll be going over the weapon, because there's no box to go over. So, for Gali Gamma, we have the Aqua Magnum. Hardy har har, if you get that reference joke for that, you're a good Bionicle fan. But once again, this one has the problem that Tahu's gun has. And you can't fire this thing. There's no little spinny thing to fire it with. I mean, like I said with Tahu, you can spin the barrel, but you can't have a little wheel that can spin it for you. And to me, that's a con, because let's face it, spinning the barrel itself is a lot more difficult than spinning a little wheel. But that's just me. Other than that, the gun itself looks amazing. Like, it's got that little water battle feel. Like, it's got armor on it. It's got these dagger spear things on it. And it has two handles. That doesn't fit into what it feels like. Whatever. And it has a little mini barrel on it. It's like maybe that's where the ammo comes out. And it just stores everything around it. So there's that. But this looks like a good gun to me. Other than the the no wheel thing to fire. This is a good build for me. Or this is a good gun, rather. But we'll see how it looks with Gali itself in a bit. But for now, let's pull Gali back over here. Alright, you know how it starts. Articulation wise, one in the head. Yep. Check. We have wings back here, and she's having a hard time standing, unfortunately. So how much articulation we have here? Well, let's see. One on the little ball joint up here, one here, and one there. So that gives us a grand total of 3, maybe 6 if you want to double it. You probably do. So there's that, but I don't count that as articulation usually to myself, but others do. You got one in the shoulder, one in the elbow, one in the wrist. So there's another 3. And then this one actually is one of the ones with triple joints. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Gali has probably a lot more articulation than most Toa do. Unless we look at Kupaka, but I don't have that mock yet. Thank you, Jay, for not having the money to send it. Whatever. But yeah, she's got some pretty good articulation for amounts of it. Okay, maybe you want to count... Yeah, I guess you can count that as articulation if you wanted to. Like I said, if you want. I don't, but... Alright, so how does this girl look? Well, she don't look like a girl. Unfortunately. But let's face it, it's hard to make a girl transformer. Okay, no it isn't. I've seen girl transformers, but it's hard to make a girl mock, let's say that. Because how many mocks from G1 Bionicle that were supposed to be girls ever looked like one? No, scratch that. How many actual girl figures from official Bionicle from G1 ever look like it? In fact, Gali here was the first ever Bionicle character to make me think that's a girl. And I don't think that because Bionicle said she was a girl in the last year, or the last time. I just think she looks like a girl. But they changed out the protectors, but whatever. Actually, speaking of that, let's jump into the Protector's gender real quick. just to point a little joke out. So the Protector of Water is a guy, right? And Gali's a girl. Does that mean Gali is a she-male technically at this point? That's just something I wanted to ask real quick, because let's face it, she has both genders now. So somebody might want to look into that. But all right, let's go. Jokes aside. So her articulation, she's got a lot of it. Her color scheme, other than the gold mask and the massive yellow turbines and the little yellow wheels, because for some reason she doesn't have any black ones. That one's Bionicle's fault, not Dr. Scorpion X's. She has a pretty good color scheme. She's got dark metal gray, normal gray, light blue, transparent blue, black, and that's just in the legs. Her legs have the entire color scheme. But it's got a solid color, and to me, it works. It just looks good. Everything fits. Everybody might be going, the gold mask just ruins it. I say, hey, it powers her up. Who gives a crap? But, I just think this is a cool looking MOC as usual. But there are cons to it that we will be getting into. But for the pros right now, good articulation. And actually a good use of the skull spiders, because the MOCs usually don't bring these guys into them for any reason, or like for set purposes. But the Gali Gamma and Kupaka are, and technically Anua, but they both have skull spiders attached to them. Kupaka has it for his gun, but Gali uses them as shoulder pads. And she doesn't need to, because let me pop one off real quick. She does have shoulder armor there, but she also has shoulder pads, which adds more character, I would say. It would make me think maybe like for army tanks, how sometimes they kill people or something, and then they will mark down on the tank who they killed. Makes me think like maybe she did that with these skull spiders. She killed them and then used them as armor to signify, hey, I killed these people. Fear me, bitch. So that makes me feel like there's a little character built into this, just thanks to the skull spiders alone. Little daggers on her. I don't even know what they're called at the moment. But these little daggers, I'm not sure how I feel on these. They don't really do anything. I think they were just added just because he didn't want, or Dr. Scorpion X didn't want these to get lost in his pieces, I guess. I don't know, but that's how I feel about the little daggers. They don't look like they're needed, but I just have them there just to make this figure complete. How does it look with the gun? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, gun wise. But bang. Pop that off again. And really, it just looks and feels like a good set for Gali. But as you can guess, there are some cons, and we're going to go into them. And starting with the obvious one, thanks to her having triple joints, she's hard to stand up at times. I mean, you can see sometimes in this video that I am struggling to keep her balanced and all. It's not usually a problem, but when you're trying to pose her, it can become a problem real quick. Repose that gun real quick. But the triple joints are just kind of a problem at the moment. Her color scheme The gold mask breaks everything up, as well as the yellow turbines and gear function. Oh, speaking of the gear function, let's go into that real quick. Yeah, thanks to the wing, it don't really... Well, okay, yeah, let's pop the wing over. It's kind of just not even in there correctly, so that was wrong. Try this again. Okay, now it works correctly. I was about to say, don't make me look bad, but there's a problem with this gear function. At least with Pohatu and Tahu, there were melee weapons. I might have said, or kept going, Tahu's melee weapons were useless and I never wanted to use them, but they were there. And he could use them with the gear function, but Gali has no melee weapons. She has a gun, and that's it. What are you gonna do with the gun? Just swing that up and down? Like, let's see how stupid that looks. Yeah, and I'm having a hard time trying to... Okay, yeah, it don't look cool. It doesn't... The gun, or the gear function itself, completely useless on this one. And pop that back in real quick. Let's try and stand her up again because of the triple joints. So yeah, gear function, useless on this one. There's no point to the gear function. The turbine wings as you could see earlier, we're getting in the way, so there's a con right there. As I pointed out earlier, these spikes... Okay, that's an opinion con. I'm not counting that. Spikes don't really mean much. And another con that I noticed while building this, and I hope other people notice, is also in the arms. Okay, I'm popping the skull spider off. You can move this part around freely, but due to transformation, the articulation on here is actually limited. You can barely move that hand around. It can only go up and down. And that's a con. So, and like I said, this is due to transformation. So in order to have her transform correctly, the arm has to be built that way. Maybe if somebody can find a better way to do that, then I can take that con away. But for this build, official build, how it was built, that's how it has to be reviewed, and that's a con. Other than that, like I said, list of cons: triple joints, make it hard to stand, gear function's useless, the gold mask breaks everything up for those who care about that. Like I said, I don't, but I know people do. And the wings get in the way, also thanks to the skull spiders, and limited articulation in the arms. So those are the cons for Gali Gamma in her robot mode. And I don't think I can... Okay, yeah, I can't say bring up the blue and red pin con, because there are red and blue cons in the gun, but that's in the gun. I think you can let that one slide because those are handles, but... So anyways, that was her robot mode, and that's a fly trying to buzz in on this damn video again. Like, you guys saw that in Pohatu, but... Anyways, let's jump into her vehicle mode. Transform her, we will turn the head around. Pull the legs all the way out. And then the wings. The wings! Alright, sorry about that, I had to review the footage, or the instructions real quick. Alright, so now flip that. Pop everything in like so, and it should look something like this. Do the same over here. Flip the arm. Fold everything in place. And with any luck, I can find a damn spot to pop that in. Thank you. There. That's not better be on the damn video. Alright. Everything should look like this. Fold it down. Don't pop that off. Fold that down, rather. And then move everything out of the way. Flip the legs, or the feet. And then fold them all the way up and try and tuck them in like so. Second verse, same as the first. Don't spin the freaking leg itself. Make sure everything is in tight. And for the gun itself, you'll pull the legs apart so it can actually get in. And then there should be a little spot with nothing, no pegs in there that you can pop the blue peg in, like so. And that actually has to make the little back armor itself fold down even more, to the point where I don't think there was any point to it being there. And spin the turbines, make everything look good, and you're done. And you can't see that. So, okay, and you're done. My bad. So now we have her submarine / jet mode thing. Well, let's face it, it's a submarine. As for the jet mode thing, I've heard things about. I don't think this is a jet mode because of the turbine itself. Usually jets have the turbines up on the bottom, but what do I know? I'm just a guy that plays video games and reviews MOCs of somebody else's creation. And then everybody left, but alright. So, sorry, iPod wants to be a bitch with 20% battery. Alright, let's get this out of the way quick. For the color scheme now, it still looks good, but the yellow turbines break it up. The gold mask actually is hidden, so it actually doesn't break that up much. The yellow pin or yellow gear thing, somebody might bitch about, I don't know. But other than that, it's got a neat color scheme, but I don't know if the gun is really needed to have all these spikes. Let's pop this sucker off, fold that up, and I think that actually might look a lot better without the gun, because the gun just had this giant gun itself sticking right out. This just looks calm, peaceful, like an underwater submarine. But it's a transformer, so I guess it has to have a giant gun sticking off somewhere. But it's the little... Now for on here, the skull spiders make me feel like these are little cabins, or these are the cockpits on the sub itself, not this area. Because this makes me think of the little areas like in Star Wars where Han and Luke were in while shooting the turrets on the Millennium Falcon. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a stretch, but I don't know. That's what I get the feel out of these little skull spiders here. The turbines, they spin, so that's a plus, I guess, if I must. But yeah, this is just a cool looking submarine mode. For the cons though, let's find some cons real quick. Well, the spikes now make me feel like there's a use for them, so I guess I can't have those as cons. Maybe the turbines themselves, because they're so big and the color don't mix with the gray, blue, black, all that. I don't know, I'm just trying to find some cons, and I honestly don't really have many for the vehicle mode itself. I thought I was going to have a ball here, but okay, a con for the transformation, that's a one. The arm thing, that, like I said, I had to get up and go look up the instructions during the review itself, so that was kind of a complicated bitch, but that was might just be me being stupid, so who knows. What do you guys think on that? If you think that's a con, let me know. If you think that's just me being stupid, go ahead and tell me. I've heard it all before. Alright, but other than that, I don't have many cons with the vehicle modes usually, so I'm not surprised that I can't find anything bad on this other than the turbines are just too big. And the gun one as well is too big and feels unneeded. But that's just something you can pop off. Okay, I remember a con that I had for the gun being on. The little fin big or the, I don't know what you call it, the bow. Let's call it the bow. The bow, when you put the gun on, has to be folded down and out of the way. And I don't know, like, you can't really see it that well, but I don't know. I don't think that should be on it. But yeah, that's your vehicle mode. So transform her back. We'll untab these hands if I can. And I need to stop finding things to rhyme. Fold the legs back and push them all the way in with the triple joints. And hopefully you saw all that. Pop the mask off. Don't really. That's just a toy having the mask pop off as usual. Stand her up. Fold the arms all the way out. Fold the wings. The wings. I don't know why I said that. Sound funny, I guess. Fold that up, the turbine. Second verse, same as the first. Up, over, around, up. Have her try and stand up with that con from earlier. Spin the head, and we'll return the mask. And pop the gun back on. So yeah. Gali Gamma, what are your thoughts on this MOC? Is it good? Is it bad? Am I blowing shit out of proportion? Probably, but who cares? Other people do it. Why can't I? Yeah, Gali Gamma, what are your thoughts on this MOC? Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know in the comments below. And next time we have a MOC review, we'll be going over a Nua Epsilon. So, take care.